Snyder's Army of the Dead, released on May 21st, 2021, exclusively on Netflix. Let's get right into it. First of all, Zack Snyder is the director of Army of the Dead, and Zack Snyder is very well known for successful movies such as Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and of course his masterpiece, Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I'll do a later review on. So let's get right into it. So back in 2004, Zack Snyder actually directed a movie called Dawn of the Dead, which was about a zombie apocalypse, where survivors are trying to survive in a shopping mall setting. And it was actually a pretty well done movie. It was pretty cool for its time. And of course, you got to keep in mind, this is before the Walking Dead television series ever came out. So realistically, if people are comparing this current movie, Army of the Dead, to the Walking Dead, just keep in mind, he was one of the first guys to come out with a proper zombie apocalypse movie back in 2004. So let's get into Army of the Dead. When I saw the trailer for it, I was like, this looks fun. It looks fantastic. The special effects, the quality of the filming, just looks spectacular. So let's get into it. So Army of the Dead, basically the plot here is that there's a zombie apocalypse, specifically in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is now a zombie world. It's completely barricaded around, and it's shut down. So it doesn't necessarily mean the zombies have reached the outside perimeter past Las Vegas. It's just Las Vegas, specifically the area for that. Now, we get into a quick prologue in this movie that explains how the Las Vegas situation came to fruition, so it makes sense. So let's get into the stars here. The main star is David Bautista, and he plays Scott Ward, and we have a huge cast here of characters. We've got his daughter is played by Ella Purnell, plays Kate Ward. That's his daughter in the movie. We have numerous other actors. Matthias Schweighofer, I probably said the name wrong. Great German actor. He portrays Ludwig Dieter. So the plot of this movie essentially is that a very wealthy businessman wants to put together a team to go into the zombie apocalypse of Las Vegas, specifically do a bank heist. There's a vault there containing, I think it's like 500 million or something like that. And basically, they're going to be dropping a nuclear missile on Las Vegas in a short period of time. So they want this team to get in and out with the money before that happens. So that's what the premise is about. So we have an interesting backstory between David Bautista and his daughter, portrayed by Ella Purnell. There's basically a rift there, and I'm not going to get any spoilers in this review at all, but we see that progress through the movie, how they can reconnect, etc. So again, there's quite a long list of actors here that are put together by this team. The wealthy businessman is Belai Tanaka, and he's portrayed by a well-known actor, Japanese actor, Haruki Sanada. Very good actor. He plays that wealthy businessman. And he's got a bit of a sidekick in this security expert, Martin, portrayed by Garrett Dillahunt. Now, the interesting thing with that is Garrett Dillahunt also stars in Fear the Walking Dead. So that's pretty cool, too. We also have a pilot played by Tig Notaro, and she's well known for her role in Star Trek Discovery, which is a really good TV series as well. And the interesting thing with this was there was a previous actor portraying this role, but there was some sort of controversial issue that came up where they were terminated from the movie, and they basically filmed Tig filled in, and they filmed her scenes after the fact. So her scenes between her and David Bautista were actually videoed in or photoshopped in somehow. So they actually never met in real life, which is quite interesting. And David Bautista says he really wants to work with her, but they actually never did. But when you see the movie, you couldn't tell. It looks like they're in the same scenes together. So that's kind of interesting. The visual effects here, Zack Snyder just kills it with it. He takes it to a next level. Like, it is, when you're looking at Las Vegas, it's incredible how he filmed this. So there's so many characters, I can't get into all of the different characters in this, but I will say, you don't know which character is going to lose their life in the next scene. Nothing's predictable in this movie as far as I'm concerned. And when I watched this movie, I didn't see anything coming. I didn't know what was coming next. So I'm going to give kudos to that. The movie itself is actually quite long, but it goes at a pretty good pace. It's 2 hours and 28 minutes long, but it flies by. Sort of like Zack Snyder's 4-hour epic Justice League. You know, that was 4 hours, but it went by quick. He doesn't waste any scenes here. There's no real slow moments. There's a lot of humor in this movie. This movie is a popcorn movie. It truly is. It's it's not meant to win an Academy Award for Best Picture, Best Screenplay, anything like that. But it's definitely a roller coaster ride. And it actually reminds me a lot of when I saw Aliens in 1986. I was 13 years old, and I saw that movie, and that was a roller coaster with Sigourney Weaver. It was just nonstop action, special effects, etc. This reminds me of that. In fact, one of the characters in this, and I can't help but think it's a throwback to Aliens, is wearing a red bandana, female character. And in Aliens, there was a female soldier wearing a red bandana, exactly the same and very similar. So I'm thinking that's a throwback to Aliens, but I could be wrong. Who knows? Um, in any event, the movie just keeps going. Now let's get into the zombies. The zombies are a next level. The Walking Dead are just, in that show, the zombies just kind of, slough around, walk around. These zombies are next level. Like there's basically different levels of zombie power, I guess. And they're literally jumping on cars. They're very intelligent. And there's two main zombies I should speak about. One is named Zeus. He's kind of the male leader of the zombies, and he's fantastic. The actor who did this role, I believe he's a stuntman actually, just killed it. Like literally, excuse the pun. He was fierce. Like really shot a level of fear into you. And then the Queen, this Queen zombie, portrayed by another stunt woman too. They're both in meticulous shape for these roles, but she was very chilling to see as well. Cool thing, and I won't give it away because it's in the trailer. There's actually a zombie tiger, which I thought was pretty cool. There's lots of twists and turns in this movie. Some backstabbing done. Some different side stories. Let me get into a few of the cons here. So a couple of the cons I have for this movie is one of the main ones is when somebody gets bit in the similar to other zombie shows or zombie movies, they obviously turn into that zombie. But what I found confusing in this movie was somebody would get bit and then within minutes they would turn into a zombie. There was another one where they got bit and within seconds, literally, they turned a zombie. But there's one character in this movie that gets bit and it seems like hours have passed before they change into a zombie. So they never really explain that. It maybe that's part of the story. Maybe everybody, turns differently. I don't know, but nothing's really explained there. Um, it's a pro and a con I'm going to discuss. The violence is just to the next level. This is definitely not a movie for kids. Don't sit down with your family and watch this. Wait till your kids go to bed and then watch it and have popcorn. It's loud, it's violent, but it also doesn't apologize for it too. It's not, this movie is made for a certain group of people that want to see it. It's not made for a family outing or anything like that. On the other hand, I don't see how you could tone down the violence when the zombies are ripping people apart. Realistically, I mean, how do you do that in a G rating? You really can't. So that's the pro is it's original as far as the violence go. The con would be that there's a little too much violence in this movie, but on the other hand, I think it balances out. Myself, I see it more of as pro going into this movie because that's what you expect when you see the trailer. It doesn't sugarcoat it. You know what you're getting into when you see this movie. This movie was a lot of fun. I will say that right now. It was cool. It was slick. It was sleek. The way he films these scenes is just crazy. There's lots of close-ups, but he uses lots of cool camera work, lots of lighting. It's a very slick movie, like all his other movies. Whether you see Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, especially Justice League. The way he films it, sort of like artwork, and that's how he does it with this movie as well. I enjoyed Army of the Dead. I truly did, and it's got good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and rightfully so. As far as the Oscars go, like I mentioned, it's not going to win an Oscar, but it should be considered for special effects because I honestly can't think of any movie other than his Justice League that came out this year that tops this movie any shape or form with special effects. I really think it's a contender for that category. But yeah, I mean it's a movie that's made for the fans. It's made for fun. It's not made for a riveting storyline. It does set itself up for a sequel. I will say that much at the end, and I won't get into any spoilers, like I said here. But it does set itself up. So I definitely would be intrigued and interested to see a sequel to this movie. Army of the Dead. It's a popcorn movie. You get your popcorn, you put your sound bar up, you watch it at night, so there's no light coming in, you have a dark setting, sort of like a movie theater. and you just enjoy it, get lost in it. This movie was truly made for the movie theater screens, but obviously due to the pandemic, they released it on Netflix instead. I believe in the United States they are playing it in certain cinemas. If you had a choice and you're in the United States, I would highly recommend you don't watch this on Netflix and you go to the movie theater. This is truly epic. It's made for the theater. But up here in Canada, we don't really have any theaters open, so Netflix works just fine. I've got a big screen TV, soundbar, so you know what? It was perfect setting for this movie. Yeah, you know what? It was a great movie. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do I give Army of the Dead? I give Army of the Dead an 7.5. I want to give it an 8, but I was just a little shy there. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Great movie. Couple cons here and there. A little too much violence. Definitely not a movie for the family. But you know what? Overall, as an adult, if you're into these type of horror movies or zombie movies, it's taken it to the next level from The Walking Dead and all the other zombie movies out there. You truly are scared of these zombies. You don't want to mess with them. And there's a few really good scenes in this movie where you are on the edge of your seat. One particular scene, I can't give any spoilers away, but they're trying to get through a gauntlet of zombies. I'll say that much. That may be sleeping, may not be sleeping. That scene was original, and it was, whoa. You know, I just sat there and went, I'm glad I'm not in that situation. Anyways, tell me what you thought of Army of the Dead. Leave some comments below. And of course, subscribe to my channel. All right, see you later.